I picked some really heavy books this month. This is gonna be a fun. Hey guys, I'm Jessie. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share with you everything that I plan to read in the month of June. Some of these books I'm so excited for, and some of them I'm not so sure about. Really, there's one in particular that I'm super on the fence about. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it or not. I want to like it because it was so hyped, but I don't know if I'm gonna like this book or not. So, before we get to that, let's just jump in to all the books that I plan to read in the month of June. So this month, I really want to make an effort to knock down the books that were on my like 5-star predictions TBR. I have already read a couple of them, and I won't tell you which ones, but I've read some of the 5-star prediction books. And I want to read the rest of them so I can update you on if my predictions were right, if they were wrong. But that is my goal this month. And one of those books that I want to read that I'm pretty sure is one of my 5-star predictions is Starsight by Brandon Sanderson. I feel like it's kind of unfair to put a sequel on my 5-star predictions list because I loved the first book, so it's pretty likely that unless like Sanderson royally fucks this up, I'm gonna love this one too. But you never know. I've heard mixed things about this book. Like, I've heard that people didn't love it as much as they loved the first one, and it's just not as good. But then I've heard some people love it like even more. So I'm just excited to read this one because y'all know I love me some Sanderson, and I'm super excited for this book. I want to know what happens after the end of Skyward. If you haven't read Skyward yet, I would highly recommend you go pick that one up. It is a YA sci-fi, and it's funny because it was pitched by Sanderson as his version of a boy with his dragon, but it turned into a girl with her spaceship. And that's kind of all you need to know. It is so good. There's some really funny moments, there's some touching moments, and I'm excited to read the second one and see where it goes. Next up, I have another of my 5-star predictions, and that is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I've only read one Leigh Bardugo book, and that is Shadow and Bone, and I thought it was okay. But I think my issue was it leaned on the young side of YA, and it wasn't necessarily like bad writing, it just leaned younger than I wanted. So this is Leigh Bardugo's foray into adult fantasy, and I'm here for it. It is dark academia, it is urban fantasy, which is actually not usually my jam. But I'm so excited for this. Just everything I've heard about this makes me think that I'm just gonna love it. So I'm excited and I'm gonna read it. Next up, I have a book that I have been wanting to read for so long now. I've heard so many good things about, and that is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. I picked up all of these, the whole series, I believe, from a box set from Amazon recently. So I'm really excited to read it. I have heard that the main character is like a badass mother. And if y'all don't know, I'm a mom. Hello, I'm Jessie and I'm a mom of 2. And I have been on the hunt for really great motherhood representation in sci-fi fantasy books. And it's hard to find. There's not very much because a lot of our sci-fi and fantasy protagonists, even in adult, tend to lean on the young side, and it'd be hard to throw in children for some of these like chosen one plots and stuff like that. So it makes sense, but The few books that I've read that have like that element to it have been amazing. Like Women's War, and I'm currently reading The Sword of Kaijin, where one of our main characters, Misaki, is a mother. And I love it so much, so I'm excited to read this and the rest of the books in the series. Now we have come to the one I'm nervous about. The book that I'm not sure if I'm gonna like or not. The book I bought because of the hype, without knowing its premise, and now I'm scared. And that's Serpent and Dove. This book has so many mixed reviews, but so many people love this book. And I know it is like an enemies to lovers, romance heavy plot, which not my jam. If you don't know, I read The Cruel Prince recently and hated it. So I don't know why I feel like this is in the same vein as The Cruel Prince. And I hope it's not, because I want to love it. I know it's a witch and a witch hunter, and they are like forced into marriage, and I don't, but I'm gonna try it. Like, I'm going in optimistic and hopeful, and I want this to work, because I feel like enemies to lovers is one of those tropes that I love when done right. The Cruel Prince didn't do it right, to me. Because I don't want it to be like enemies as in an abusive situation. I want it to be more misunderstanding or dislike or something along those lines to lovers. Or even better is like dislike to friends to lovers. That's where it's at. Where the characters start off like just not getting along for whatever reason. Not because anyone's an abusive asshole, Garden, but because they just differences in opinion, or they're raised differently, or you know, they're from different socioeconomic places, or whatever it may be. They can be assholes, but not like to that degree. And then they like start to understand each other, like understand where the other's coming from, understand their differences, see that they're really not that different after all. And then they become friends. And then as they become friends, a relationship develops. And that is the shit my dreams are made of. When it comes to romance, that is the shit my dreams are made of. Where you just like, you don't get along and you argue and you bicker. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, are we so different? What's going on? Like, why? We're not that different. Why did we think we're that different? Like, what? And then there's this like this realization, and then they become friends, and then they become lovers, and then they're in this bed, and it's great, and there's fireworks, and I love it. I love that shit. I eat it up. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the enemies to lovers that I need. But I'm not. I don't know. Next up, I have another one of my 5-star predictions. I told y'all I'm going ham on the 5-star predictions so I can knock them out. See if my predictions were right. But the next one is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. And look how pretty that cover is. Like, it's so pretty. This is one I'm super excited to read. It is like a loosely based Rumpelstiltskin retelling, and I'm here for it, and I've heard such good things about it. I've heard good things about just Naomi Novik's writing in general. I don't know much about this other than the main character spins like silver into gold. Not really, obviously, but she's like taken away to this castle and like forced to spin silver into gold, and it's like I said, a loose Rumpelstiltskin retelling, and I'm super here for it. Alright, next up I have another sequel that I'm going to try to get to in the month of June, and that is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. If you don't know, I loved Cinder. I read it a couple months ago for the first time ever, and I was like, why is it taking me so long to pick this up? And then I flew through it. I think I read it in like a day. And it's not like a super short book, but I flew through it. And then I read Renegades by Marissa Meyer, and I really loved that as well. So I'm like, I really just love Marissa Meyer's writing. I find it super easily digestible. So I'm excited to continue on with the Lunar Chronicles and read Scarlet. Honestly, I don't know where we're going after the events of Cinder, but I'm excited to find out because, I mean, obviously it's going to be a Little Red Riding Hood-esque retelling, whereas Cinder was obviously Cinderella. So super duper, super excited. I actually picked up the entire series from Book Outlet the other day. Like the whole like box set. It's got Fairest and it had the other compilation of short stories that I can't remember what it was called. So yeah. We are down to the final book. The final thing that I plan to read in June is Kings of the Wyld. And I'm super excited. This actually just arrived in the mail like today. So I'm super excited to get into this. I've been looking for an excuse to read this, and Jessie over at Jessie May, I will link her channel below, is actually starting a book club, and this is the first book that they're reading in the month of June, and I'm here for it. I'm so excited. Yeah, her channel is adorable, and I believe Books with Brittany, who's another channel that I just adore, is gonna be the co-host of this month's like book club. So I am excited to read along with everybody. If you want to join in, I will leave her video down below so you can join in with us and read Kings of the Wyld. All right, guys, there you have it. Absolutely everything that I plan to read in the month of June. Wish me luck, because it's gonna be one heck of a month. All right, well, I am Jessie. Thanks for hanging out with me. If you have any opinions on these books, let me know. If you want to join in on the book club with Jessie, May, and Brittany, I'll leave that information all down below for you. Hope you guys have a wonderful afternoon. Make sure you like and subscribe and stick around because I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.